Oh, too late.
And that wasn't too far past the...
No. I like, yeah, part of me is looking down at the track when I'm doing it, and it's maybe messing me up a little bit.
What if I'm your eyes for that and you go back to intuition based?
Okay, so I guess you'll be able to see by that, because you can tell when I let go of the gas, like there, you know?
Yeah, yeah. The car kind of hops when you let go and re-engage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know if I can describe where you did that.
Maybe we will have to watch our replay to get a good.
It's like an inch on the screen after that. That's going to depend on your screen size. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's almost like, well, the indicator goes by so fast that maybe it has to be intuition. Um,
That was rough.
do you want to try that one again?
No, let's just jump in.
Okay. Let's look at this real quick.
Whoa. Was that you?
I think I popped in with that at some point.
Nice. That's significant.
Oh yeah, I mean when it's saving that for when we're like, okay, now we're really trying to. What am I doing? I need to go to exit. I was thinking there might be information on laps, like a full Grand Prix in there, but it's just best race on its own. All right, you're up to bat.
Let's do it. Still feeling a little rusty. All right. You think I can catch the... That is the ticket. So, and this is... We were talking about this earlier too. So if you hold the boost, you get the initial boost. If you just like hold it starting early,
You get a boost,
you
and
get
then
a
everybody
boost.
runs by you.
Yeah, you slowed down. It's like you didn't really hit it.
Oh, I learned something on this. Next time you go by the jump, I gotta tell you something.
Is there something you want me to do?
Um,
You tell me a little
yeah, I'll
before the
just tell
jump.
you. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna tell you. I wanted you to finish that lap there. Um, yeah. So if you are holding down on the pad when you're landing from a jump, it will. It's basically your landing button. So you won't lose
If you're holding
speed in the same
down.
way. Yeah, down on the
Yeah, yeah.
D-pad.
Okay.
Oh, missed
I
it.
missed it.
Next time, you'll notice that instead of like a boom, there it makes a sound. There's an indication, like a success noise, and it seems like you can hold it down the entire time you're in the air. And maybe if you're going for a long jump, you hold up over a gap and then down right before you land, you know. But in this case, there's no gap.
Well, and there is a like a
So just listen here closely.
yeah, right there. You just hold
Yeah.
down and it sort of dulls that.
Yeah, I couldn't quite hear it because we have the sound. We have the sound fairly low for us, but it's almost like a success sound. There's like a ticking, almost. It's like registering that you did it. It's like you did it.
Because you're supposed to be able to tilt your car back and forth, right? That's...
Yeah. And that's maybe like a
I don't think I did it.
yeah. Maybe you did there. It's like a tilt back versus forward, and I forget which one is which. Honestly, you can kind of see it though, because the camera, the sprite is rotating in the air.
Shoot.
Yeah, and we have the audio kind of low, so you might not hear the difference. But if you have your hands on this game, give it a try. Not pressing any buttons, pressing down, pressing up when you land, and you'll see that there's a audio visual difference and a less of a speed drop off. Did you pull that one off at the end?
Mm-hmm.
Love me some Mute City 1. I don't even care. It's easy.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite because I know how to win at it pretty much every time now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Still, this one's starting to grow on me because we practiced it a lot last time.
Yeah, there's that turn and this turn,
It was just not even looking.
and then there's not. So basically, on that look like slippery looking stuff, you should be good, I think, unless you do. If you're doing a hard turn, then you start slip sliding like
Hmm.
mad.
Yeah, yeah. Which we saw last time.
Yeah. So I read somewhere, I think it's even in the manual that I backed up from the mic there. I don't know how quiet I was, but there's a way that it's described as specifically about making you slide around. I really, when I was hanging out a little bit with this game, and I brought up the yellow vehicle or the golden fox, and I started playing the other courses for a second. I don't even know if I got. I think I might have done the first and second course in the next circuit. I was, playing like garbage all over the place. Like the complexity is growing from here, but I was really just. I had a sense of wow, I love this game. You know, it was new. Like the track design feels really thoughtful and engaging, and the visuals are something that I really appreciate. The just package as a whole, how it comes together. The next track that you play, that starts the Queen League, has this whole. This is Big Blue, but it has a very different blue palette going on. It's almost like an icy blue, and the music with each stage that you get, it really is a solid classic for me, like. And Derek and I off camera talked quite a bit about our history with racing games and differences for us and how we grew up and the kinds of games we played, yada yada. I don't think of myself as having played many racing games growing up, and a lot of what gets thought of as these classics, in terms of arcade racers, nice,
I squeaked that one out.
and even simulation racers, even more so. Like I did have Gran Turismo, I think 2 for the PlayStation 2, and just never got a grip on that as a kid. But I think I have a lot to experience yet as an adult, and this has been my favorite. There's plenty that I have to discover, and it might get transplanted by something else. But right now, I'm just really about this game as my favorite racer.
Yeah, I think what surprised me overall, even though pre-playing this, I would have said like, oh, I'm not really a fan of racing games. I might have listed them um, as like my least favorite genre next to like just sports games in general now, like NBA games and NFL games, that sort of stuff. But then as we've sort of like perused through these older games and videos and growing up on the PlayStation 1, I didn't realize how many of these racing games and styles of racing games I was playing, and actually that I was in like loved those games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this one is kind of like refueling that as an adult gamer, um,
Yeah.
for sure. And I think it's still like one of the most like one of the games you have to be most technically proficient at. I think as a kid, what I loved is games with a little bit of action as racers. Um, Funnily enough, is that a word? Funnily.
I think that is a word. I think it officially checks out.
I think I was into more of these technical racers at this sort of in between younger age. Sort of right when I would have gotten my PlayStation 1, and I didn't have as high of like expectations when it came to like what a game could do. And my parents would buy me. We were just watching a thing that was like Namco Racing on PlayStation 1.
The Ridge Racer was that one, I think, that
Yeah, Ridge Racer.
Namco
Yep.
developed. I don't know if it was quite a launch. It might have been a launch title, but right around
Yeah,
the
I think
launch
it was
window.
a launch. I think that's what we saw. And I could just get into the fact that like you weren't allowed to hit the other racers or bounce off of things, and you didn't have missiles to fire off of each other, or like there wasn't some cool wipeout scene when you did something crazy to another racer.
Mm-hmm.
I I liked that a lot when I was younger, and then I sort of like your brain mixed with like experiencing new and novelty like got into the really colorful shoot 'em explosion racer type games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which now like we've even checked out a couple of these games, which it can still be fun, but sometimes you're like, this is a little bit overwhelming and really takes away from the racing experience a little bit. Or like
More
even
chaotic.
yeah, and even if you win in those chaotic circumstances, you're like, I'm not even really sure what I just did there, or like if that was quality.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think racing games are a lot of fun. I think I also having a history with them and being relatively okay at a number of them. I didn't realize that I was better at racing games than I am at like shooting games. Um, and I've known that I was terrible at shooting games. Like if you and I get on a shooter, like I know that I'm gonna struggle more to keep up in those games. But I actually feel pretty comfortable in racing games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've noticed that. Um, and do you mean which kind of just shooting? And so it's just such a you don't mean modern shooting like first-person shooters. You mean more like wild guns or
I honestly would probably say both.
just the whole
The
yeah
whole
the whole
experience of like lining that up, and also not playing with a mouse, like always trying to play with the
right
joysticks or Joy-Cons,
mm-hmm.
and um,
For sure.
realizing that there's almost an entirely different like feel and architecture, even if you think about like the way you would point a mouse versus the way you would almost like rotate on your back foot or something when you're aiming with a Joy-Con, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the way yep yeah. So and I agree. For me, I've gotten a little bit more since I've had a PC over the last 2 years. Uh, gotten dabbled with that, but I don't feel particularly, competent. But I'm at a level where I can enjoy using mouse and keyboard and have fun with it, and I feel the difference. But yeah, it's an adjustment, and it really for those first-person shooters that are focused on aiming and like, aiming precision, it really feels like the way to play it to get the full experience
Mm-hmm.
and appreciation of the genre or whatever. Some people, maybe not quite. Some people get really good with a gamepad or whatever, but yeah. Um, and the thing I'm curious to see you play over time here that has hooked me in a way that's similar to this is space shooters, or what would be called before you had
Yeah,
modern
they're
shooters,
like
just shooters of the past. So yeah, side or vertical scrolling
mm-hmm.
space shoot 'em ups are now what they've kind of been tagged as a way to make clear what we're talking about. But shoot 'em ups are challenging, fun. Oh yeah, you got first place at almost every lap, or I didn't see
I
all of
think it was
them.
very close to every lap
It
there.
might have been everything except for the first one.
Mm.
So yeah, you're having a pretty good rank on this one. So
And
yeah, that's your score on the upper left there, 23,100.
I think my funny enough, my mom was really into those like shooter games. I'm thinking more like my parents
Way early.
always had for the PlayStation, like you could buy that classics or whatever that was like 30 classic games on one CD,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like Galactica.
Yeah, those really early arcade
Yeah,
shooters.
my mom would play those and was really good at them.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was little, it was fun to watch. Like I was always mesmerized by it. I just wasn't that good at it, and there was something about not having save points and not really understanding what I was achieving when I was younger. Versus like at that point in time, I would have been playing Crash Bandicoot, and I like understood that as a frame of levels,
Mm-hmm.
and also wasn't really into the idea of like setting records necessarily.
Yeah.
Like okay, you're gonna play this again, same levels, and you're gonna do better this time.
Mm-hmm.
It was more like, well, give me a story to work through.
Yeah, I don't think I played for high score when I was a child at all that I can really remember.
Yeah,
I have no specific memory of that.
and that's something these games, these older games, really promote. I think coming off of the arcade experience.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you mentioned that with your mom because A, it makes me think, you know, I wasn't there for it, but it seems like the 80s, you know, you had in the US this sort of collapse of the Western console home console market before Nintendo came in, and like Japanese console manufacturers had a big success in the US, and uh, there was a period of time when what was still thriving was arcade games and the arcade format, and there was a time when arcades were more, you know, the booming way to play games. And my mom, you know, I like forget about this and then realize it when the one or two times that she's mentioned it. Like she, in some space or another, played a lot of Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man. She doesn't really, I don't think she really remembers like which one it was. But just the other day we were out when we were, I moved recently, and when we were somewhere collecting some goods, I was shopping with her. There was I think it was Best Buy. They had like a cheap, what's called a
Oh
one-up arcade, like
no!
a mini arcade of Pac-Man, and she like couldn't resist but like get on and
Try
fiddle
it.
around. And she was like, "Oh, I played so much Pac-Man, and I used to love this game." So yeah, it's interesting. Those first, there you do.
All right. Well, that was an interesting, just kind of zone out play that I did okay on.
29,200. So let's see. You got slightly rough start on the first one.
Hmm.
Um,
My first laps are noticeably worse than the rest of them, and I
Yeah.
don't know if it's just because you're going fast at the start, or if I just really struggle there.
Straight ones on that one. Time-wise, it seems consistent for me too. It's always the slowest one because you don't have acceleration. But being in
Did
the
all
thick
ones
of
on
the
that one
pack
Yeah,
too on a
yeah,
Grand
yeah.
Prix is a problem. Oh man, I'm intimidated.
I thought I was gonna blow up for sure.
It's almost. I'm almost thinking, do we have enough time on this video to call it good?
I think everyone wants to see you give it a go.
All right, all right.
So is your goal then like to beat the 29-2?
I would beat the 29-2 in my goal of getting first place.
Gotcha. Okay,
In
yeah.
each of them. But basically having like a perfect beginner night run,
Mm-hmm.
and it's less so about your time and more so about your place.
So what is this telling us? What were the four light ups in that one? Like those were, yeah.
So what I understand is that this blinking is saying somewhere in this menu you're gonna find yourself placing.
Gotcha.
So you're
Okay.
fourth there.
So I made it onto the top 5 in all of them except for Sand Ocean, or top 10 except
Top
for Sand
10,
Ocean.
yeah.
Maybe top 5 for some. I don't know what it is. This one's my worst each time. Even when we were just practicing, felt like I was really. This one surprised me. I'm usually real bad.
This one is like I feel you. It's just like sometimes you'll have a good run, sometimes not. Just like it's so easy to get knocked off course on that. And then kind of middle of the pack on that one. It would be kind of nice to be able to put our initials so we remembered, but
We don't need
okay.
to remember.
Yeah, right. Okay. Get my gumption up. I feel like I need a glass. Alright, I'm gonna quick fuck my whole audio setup up.
Oh, you have water in here.
Oh yeah. Need a little bit of oil in the system, and now we're ready to rock. Alright, apologies for moving the mic around. Hopefully it is still pretty good. Levels still looking good. Alright. Beginners we are. We're in it for the long haul on F-Zero. Okay, let's see what I can do with this. Okay, one bump. So yeah, see if you listen closely if you can hear. No. No. Here on this jump.
don't know if I can hear it.
Yeah, we'll have to do it off camera. I know that it's different, but can't remember if there's like a positive sound or just a reduction in sound.
We'll do it again and we'll see if you're...
Oh, you son of a...
See, I think you did do it because your speed, and I remember this, so your speed goes up when you hit the jump. And so you jumped up to 470 on your speed, and when you landed, you only bounced to 450.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. I think if you standard do it, it's like
worse.
470, and you... I always want to say you might even bump down below 4.
Here, I'll do it here for the sake of science.
Yeah, you jump down to 380. You jump up pretty quick, but I think you hit it. Or you at least partially hit it, if that's possible.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a gradation to it.
I don't imagine.
I don't think so. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna keep down.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Oh man, did I even...
Man, that was a
I felt
large
like the
hitbox.
hitbox was rough on that.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't. Okay. Oh, there's another lap. Holy smokes. I thought that was it. Man, I'm calling foul play on hitbox.
So one thing I've also noticed about these little orange...
Oh no! That's it.
Oh.
The end of the show.
That's it. That's the end of the show.
That's the end of the show, folks.
Go home. Go get out of here.
Alright, I'll try again. Oh, you only have so many cars, so I guess
Yeah.
I didn't quite...
What I was going to say is that something I've noticed about the little orange characters, which only come up after one full lap, by the way, is that it seems harder going into a turn to go wide around them, and it's almost always worth it. And let me know if you think this is also the case.
To go tight.
To go tight, yeah. And also, I think it might be better to hit the inside wall on most of these.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's consistent with my like sizing them up and being like, okay, I'm gonna take the inside, and it goes well.
Yeah, I especially I noticed this because I was really paying attention where it forces you to, like when it puts you in tight quarters with them. Like on the what's the wind track called, the fourth one?
Wind trap.
Something like that.
Deathwind, is it?
Deathwind, yes. And Deathwind, when you get real cornered with them,
so like
that
right
seemed
there
to be better. Like you should go inside of them.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Every time I went outside, I ran into them every time.
They go for you. Like just now, I don't know if you saw that, but I went outside and he did a little bit of a coming at me.
Yeah, I think it's that mixed with the physics on this game being consistent, but a little wonky or untrue.
Oh,
so like
when you get these guys.
Yeah. When you actually turn, you turn, your car turns. It turns pretty hard. And you don't get the like sincere start to like whipping the back end of the vehicle around in the way that, at least not like initially.
Oh, I lost a lot of speed there. A lot of speed there. Oh, one more lap. I couldn't quite process what you were saying about reality versus this, but...
Like the physics of turning on this game, the car is very responsive. Like when you turn, you really go into the turn. And so you're not whipping around in a way that like, I don't know. If you play some of the like more modern day physics-based games where they really account for your speed and your ability to do that, you almost can sense a certain level of drag around them and then realigning. That it's just harder to do in a precision game like this, where there's definitely physics going on in this game. They're just not. It's harder to finesse that kind of thing.
All right, we're
My
cruising.
favorite part about the ice is just how noisy that section of the screen looks.
Oh yeah. Is this course easier than Mute City?
I was kind of wondering the same thing because there's really only one problematic turn, which is this one.
I had more
The
issues
rest is
with.
just kind of easier, especially if you know not the hard turn on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, debatably the easiest track in the game. Now, am I going to screw it up? Debatably.
This is also people's favorite, or like the music in this one is the most popular. I'm not familiar enough with it. Mute City is just the go-to at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's
For your brain to remember when you're
yeah, just to
thinking.
remember. It's fun. I really dig the track on it. I, I'm I know that's just familiarity with the track, but I don't. I'm trying to imagine a world in which at some point I'm like, okay, this one is really where it's at.
Oh,
But maybe it's a lot
bummer.
like liking a single off in an album, and then slowly you're like, actually, the rest of the album's more complex and interesting. And
Mm-hmm. Really getting to a point where I'm liking pretty much all of the tracks. Okay, both playing and listening wise.
so I liked the at my last run. I still don't like the track after this very much, but on my last run, the fifth track in this circuit is I actually thought was the most fun. It's like really challenging. The couple of those S curves.
Mm-hmm. We have the sound turned down pretty significantly when we're playing it like this. We could probably get away with turning this one up a little bit more, but getting the full vibe of the music is more of an off recording experience. Okay, let's get a bump here. Bump for good luck. Oh, not quite. Yeah, this song is good too.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, we were talking a little bit earlier. I keep thinking like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do an MSU1 audio hack on these games, and then I listen to them and I'm like, oh man, I just had I released the pressure on the acceleration button just enough where
Oh
I
yeah, if
stopped.
you don't hold it, it. When we were in our practice mode there for a little bit, I was like, I'm struggling. But it was just me not holding down the button.
This one is really nice to practice this stage. Oh, but it's a little bit trickier for me with all of the traffic.
I think the thing that these Grand Prix have going for them on the beginner level, though, is that the cars aren't as competitive as that practice car. The practice car is really setting a
Mm-hmm.
competitive pace.
Mm-hmm.
There's that landmine one. Nice. Nice.
Took it hard.
To the inside of him.
Ooh, I used boost there out of some weird like
Accidental.
anxious thing. Yeah, I was just like, oh, I took that turn a little slow. Boost. Whoa.
Oh, there you go. There's some of that physics based
All right, all right,
turning.
all right. Here we go. On the recovery, on the up and up. Oh, taking a little hard. Jeez, these guys are just swimming in front of me. Just sharking the waters of this track.
Oh. Oh, here we go. This is always the great combo here.
Oh.
I don't know. Sometimes when I miss those cars, or miss these guys at all, I'm like, wow.
Oh, I
That was
boosted right
fortunate.
into his back. Okay. Clear.
Nice.
That sound you just heard there, I think it's I don't remember how many points, maybe every 10,000 you get a new car back.
Oh,
Which, that
nice.
mechanic is probably all going to come into play once we get into the harder Grand Prix where we're dying.
For sure.
Okay, I am going to get a bump. No, never mind, it's Death Wind. I'm not getting crap. I should have not done the boost thing, because I just wanted to be in front of them. Alright, total focus. Total and complete focus.
Nice. It's always a success if you hit the arrows. If you don't hit the arrows, you really are at a disadvantage. But these narrow spots here is where I was talking about. Those computer orange cars are really,
Oh, I forgot about them. Oh,
they're
man.
really pesky in here.
I'm saving my boost for getting into the crap with these guys.
Yeah, I kind of accidentally saved like 2 or 3 and it saved me a couple times. Because the boosts are nice when you miss the arrow.
Yep, right there. I used
Um,
one.
and then they're also nice if you've got a couple. This straightaway here is a pretty nice spot for them when you get through the shade spots here.
Mm-hmm.
Or these rumble strips?
Oh, he just went for me.
Gravity strips? I don't know what they are.
Aggressive drivers out here. Like, win on your ability to turn and not ram me when I'm coming up on you.
Like, play fair, man.
Play with honor. Oh, crikey. Making me feel nervous. This is a bad spot. Oh.
Yeah, they also pretty consistently hit the boost or in line with the boost. It really makes you choose.
Yeah, when you're like coordinating with them boosting,
Yeah,
it's like,
like negotiating that in the wind. It's a little much. Oh.
Ay, 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 brother. Well, used my last boost. And missed that one.
Ooh.
I had to go for it.
Got it.
Had to go for it.
Alright. Comes down to this turn. Ooh.
Got
Got
him.
it.
Got
Nice.
him.
Nice.
Excellent. Oh man, that's just
That one's fun. You feel a little like you're just holding on the whole time.
Yeah,
You're
and
like, gotta just like hold it together.
exactly. It's not really like there's no calculation in your head about like timing with gas, brake, hard turns. It's all just like keep your car on the road.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh.
man, I am screwing those up. I'm too used to the way I'm doing it in practice. Okay, this is another complete focus.
So when we were in practice, I wasn't hitting that jump, but I did on the last round. I nailed those. Oh, nice. That was good. That was also good. I love when you snake a curve like that. Like you just cut it. It feels so solid.
Oops, that's not.
Because it almost feels like a mixture of skill and luck coming together at the right moment. Where you're like, ooh, yeah. I just saved some time. Nice.
Oh, I boosted for better or worse.
Pretty okay.
Oh, that
Ooh,
was
there's
rough.
okay.
Oh, there goes the first place. Okay, that's alright.
Pretty solid though.
Crap in my pants. I don't know what I'm saying, but bad.
Crap in my pants.
You know what'll be really bad is if that was the only second place that I get this entire.
Have you firsted all of them so far?
Um,
Maybe?
maybe. I can't remember.
That will be a bummer.
Tenda Zen.
Got it. Ooh. Nice. One of my favorite sounds, especially because it's a little quieter in the room,
I
is
just boosted. Ooh, crap.
the noise of the controller creaking.
Just crypt
Just
creaking all over the place.
as you're like half mashing and you got the D-pad like angled pushes going on. Ooh, that was a move.
Oh,
Ooh,
Jesus.
nice. Snaking around.
Ooh, that was a bad corner, and that guy's coming for my
Oh.
face. Oh, dude, I think that was
Nice.
maybe my only second place, which is a shame.
Well, I think I got 32,000 or 31, so I think you got it.
Oh no. Wait, how did I get first rank in all those?
I don't know.
Oh no, that's the first course. I was like, oh,
Ah.
did some act of God happen? And I got.
It was not an act of God. That would be an error. We all saw you come in second.
Dude, that was it.
Dang.
Unless on 3 I got a second place, which is there's a chance. Nope.
I knew you were
Son of a
racing
gun.
solid. I didn't realize you were just marking ones on every lap.
Son of a gun,
Oh.
dude.
Well, it gives you a reason to come back.
Yeah. I don't know if it's another recording let's play, but heck, that's
Shoot.
it's not something to be too sad about.
Sweet. Sweet. Sand Ocean Man, just not our day today.
Does this include the practice times?
I don't think so. Well, I haven't raced that many Grand Prix, so
I practiced the crap out of this. I think it is including practice. For better or worse. Maybe worse, because that's sort of a strange thing to include.
I don't. Maybe. Doesn't seem like they would do that. No, because it's just night, right? Like you've got other boards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it is, including practice.
I guess, yeah. So did better at some point. Okay. Anyways, let's get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I think we've been on here for a while. Probably wrap it up.
Yeah. For those who stuck around, let's just. Since you're here this long, I mean, you like hanging out with us, I guess. So, this is what I was talking about earlier, just in terms of this being pretty. We're even gonna go so loose. It's purple. It wasn't blue. That was the color. We're gonna crank the background volume a little bit. It's gonna maybe interfere with our audio, but this is just so beautiful. And then this craziness, dude. Look at this.
Wait,
So
so
there's
are you
this is
slipping?
a slowdown, and that's a slip.
Are you?
And then there are
you
these-
slipping, not hard turning though?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And this has the best acceleration, so I was seeing that this is a good car for this course because there's a lot of like.
So how do you not slip?
Manage your speed, I guess, and maybe hard turning is an inevitability. I don't know. Let's try it again.
Play better.
Okay, where is that turn?
I think it's this one.
Yeah, I mean, like I was more conservative on the gas there. I probably could have been.
Interesting.
And I wasn't doing down to get better landings on any of those.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you were nailing it because those ones there were a real like you just hear the car really smashing down.
I did a hard turn on that slippery thing and it worked out. So maybe when it's like
Like this,
you're gonna
you
slip
can do
anyways, yeah. Especially because these shapes are like... That's a tricky one, because it's got that slowdown in the middle. It's like, do I try to hit that? Do I try to avoid that?
What are those?
Those are like damage zones.
They're like, they look like little solar panels. This game isn't about solar. It's about the grid.
Almost looks like you're surrounded by solar panels.
Are you kidding me? These are very clearly French lavender fields.
Oh, I almost think you just cut that and use a boost if you got a boost on hand for everything but the first lap. Cut and boost through the gravel. And then, okay, so I'm going to use like an extra boost. I'm going to use it here. And then
Cut and boost.
cut and boost on that. See how it goes.
Cut and boost is, when you say it that quickly, it just sounds like cut and paste.
Oof, that was good.
Seems like it should be a command. That was good.
It also kind of boosts through some of that junk afterward. I'm going to crash and burn. That's what I'm going to do.
Boost, crash and burn, it's all the same.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah, so that's just beautiful.
where the...
It's where they hide the good ones.
And
That is a nice track. I have not seen that track.
all right, let's get out of here. Let's see what the football world is doing out there. It's a big football day in the IRL right now.
All right.
Okay, space soldiers of 2300 or whenever this game is. We'll see you
In 2301.
in the new year. Peace and love.